Have you spotted any pirate ships?
Duh.
What, are you gonna get snippy with us, Cloud?
Ya que estamos en México, ¿por qué no?
Actually, I think there's a good restaurant right up here.
Whoa. A lot has changed since the last time we were here.
My name is Paul Sturgis. I work for Nixon Oil. Supposed to ferry out to the rig from here?
Dad, I think I see it. Is that it?
Yep, that's her. I'm here to do the inspection.
What is it?
Protection. Protection from what?
Huh?
Hello? Anybody? Where the hell is everyone? What's going on here?
What is that?
What's that look?
The Black Beamer.
There must be some way off this rig.
Nothing works. I don't think it can take much more punishment. This is not just any shark. It's a curse. Brought on not by nature, but by wrath.
Wrath?
He's gonna keep getting his revenge until the sacrifice is made. The only way to stop it is to kill it.
I have a plan. You will not take my family away from me.
You're the monster.
Open your eyes, come on.
I know a big-ass shark when I see one.
Rakesh, and there the FSB report and the IMF, which is the synthesis report, will be discussed, and the materials are all already available in public domain. So it is for the membership to take a call as to how it wants to move on it. A framework or a template, whatever be it. I don't think we've given it a name as yet. And also to now discuss whether it is going to be a regulation only and not a ban. I'm not getting into that debate. It is the reports, the synthesis, and also the early IMF report, both of which have been discussed. You're right in saying this report says this. It's up to the G20 membership to take a call on how it wants to move forward. And that you'll get to know more during the autumn meet of the World Bank. There was a question on climate finance. I don't think it is a question of, are you writing off this 100 billion which was promised earlier, and now that you've come up with a newer way of funding climate? I don't think it is this or that. Whatever trickle had come earlier of the 100 billion, or what it can come now through the private partnership, or bringing in philanthropy or anything else, can keep going on that. But the fact remains that now the larger discussion has brought in very many more elements of how to finance. So both will have its own role to play, because climate issues attain great sense of urgency.
Would you like to speak on? So on the fossil fuel, I'll like to say that if you read through the entire document, it's very, very ambitious. First of all, for the first time, G20 has talked about tripling of renewable energy capacity by 2030 globally. Secondly, this is the first document which talks about, which has very huge focus on fossil subsidies. And thirdly, this is the first time that there is a huge focus on billions to trillions of dollars in climate finance. There is a huge focus on Global Biofuel Alliance, which will be launched today. There's a huge focus on green hydrogen, and also there's a massive focus on energy, resource efficiency and circular economy industry coalition, and there's a focus on to my mind, very huge focus on. The document is actually a very, very strong focus on lifestyle for environment, which is life, which the Prime Minister has initiated. And several studies have said that it can lead to 20%. An IEA study has said that it can lead to 20% reduction in greenhouse emissions. So huge focus on climate action.
So let me conclude with the last question, which is the levels of participation. I think it's for every country to decide at what level they would be represented. I don't think one should overly read meanings into it. What I think is important is what is the position which that country has taken, how much that country has contributed to the deliberations and the outcomes. And I would say here that all the G20 members, and since the question was asked specifically about China, I would say China as well, that China was very supportive of the various outcomes, and it is only because the members...
We have just had this major press conference, and now Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to launch the Global Biofuels Alliance. That is also another outcome of this historic landmark G20 summit that is being held in India, in the national capital Delhi. You can see Prime Minister Modi there, and we will have other countries who've signed on to this alliance as well, perhaps their leaders joining him. We just await more updates and more images to come in on this particular major announcement. Biofuels, of course, is something that India has been pushing for quite some time. We've already attained a mixture of 20% ethanol in petrol, and that is available at petrol pumps for regular vehicles, petrol-driven ICE vehicles, internal combustion engine vehicles. And now you see other leaders also joining in, Bangladesh, and we see Singapore as well, and there will be many others, because as many as 19 countries have signed on to this Global Biofuel Alliance. Even representatives of oil-producing countries are a part of this, because it is essentially about reducing the use of fossil fuels and bringing in biofuels, biofuels that are produced not just from sugarcane, but from other sources as well, even as exotic as bamboo. And this also includes gases, which is produced from animal refuse. We're getting these images straight from Bharat Mandapam, which is the venue for the G20 summit, where this critical alliance for the future is being launched, which targets the reduction of the use of fossil fuels and transferring that, or transitioning rather, to biofuels. Just recently, we witnessed in India the launch of the world's first car that can run 100% on biofuel, on ethyl alcohol. Yes, the same ethyl alcohol that forms a part of all the intoxicating drinks, but it can also run cars, bikes, and many other things. It can be, technologically, it can be even used to fly planes or rockets for that matter. Biofuels can do far more than even run vehicles. We have technologies where it can be used to produce energy, even for illumination. It can be multi-purpose. A lot of fuel that is produced through the natural process of the decomposition of waste it just dissipates into the atmosphere. That's wasted. This can be channeled, the refuse can be channeled and be used to produce biofuel, methane, which is otherwise, if it goes into the atmosphere, extremely polluting. It is a greenhouse gas, but if it is used as a fuel, it will substitute fossil fuels, which are even more polluting, and be of extreme use as well. Multiple uses, like I mentioned, can be used to produce energy, as in electricity, can be used for